Good morning, boys and girlies. Welcome to Math 3206. This is Mr. Morse broadcasting all the way from Goose Bay. In case you haven't realized yet, no baby yet. As of 3:09 p.m. on Monday, no baby. But we will try to continue on as best we can, so I got this little video lesson done now. This works the same as if I was there. You need your notebooks, you need your pencils, paper, and most importantly, your brains. Alright, so today what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is solving quadratics by factoring. Now, whatever you see on the board right now, I want you to copy down. I only have 15 minutes because that's the length of the video that I can upload on YouTube. Any more than that, they cut me off. I realized that yesterday after doing 2.5 hour long. Anyway, let's get started. At any time, if you need more time to copy notes, by all means, come up and pause me, dink. Or if you want to hear something again, just rewind me, and you can watch it as many times as you need to. Alright, so if you need to pause now. Done. Alright, if not, let's get on to GO. Today, boys and girlies, Math 3206, we're going to look at solving quadratics by factoring. Now, you learned last week that there's more than one way to solve a quadratic. You can look for the x-intercepts, or you can use the quadratic root formula, which was a creature, I know. But they all gave us what? They all gave us the values of x, where our function, quadratic function, was equal to 0. Now, we can do this algebraically. How? All we need to do is factor our quadratic equation. We need to find two numbers that multiply to get the constant term, the number on the end, and also they have to add to give the term in front of the x. So, once we factor our creature, we can find the values of x that make each factor equal to 0. Thus, we can solve our quadratic equation without even having to look for the intercepts or use the quadratic root formula. Now, if you were to do this by graphing or QRF, you would find the same numbers. This is just a different tool by which to arrive at the same answers. So, we're looking for the values of x that make our quadratic equal to 0. How do we do it? We can factor these creatures, a creature like you see here highlighted in yellow. We can factor this rather easily. How do we factor it? Well, we just look at two numbers. We need to find two numbers. They have to multiply to give the number on the end right here, which is a plus 6. And they have to add to give the number in front of your x variable, your x, which is plus 5. So really, it's like a little bit of problem solving. We need to find two numbers that multiply to give plus 6 and add to give plus 5. So, well, trial and error. Here's what you do. We're looking for the factors. So a quadratic should have how many factors? It should have 2. Why? Because you got an x squared creature. Now, all you do is say, well, what two numbers multiply to give 6? They are simply 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Now, when you add these, they have to add to give what? Your 5. So, what two numbers when you add these up here gives 5? Should be this one. So all you do, you go x plus 3 for this factor and x plus 2 for this factor. Now, are we done? Almost. We have factored our equation. Two numbers multiply to give 6, 2 times 3, and adds to give 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, how do you finish this? What we have to do, ladies and jelly beans, we have to set each factor equal to 0. Okay? Why equal to 0? Because we're looking for the values of x that make it equal 0. How do you find those? You just solve. Simply move your number on the other side to get x by itself. So you subtract 3 up top. Down the bottom we have to subtract 2. This leaves us with what? You should see right away that the 3's cancel out here. So you're left with x equals minus 3. Down here the 2 minus 2 cancels. So you're left with x equals minus 2. These are your solutions, boys and girlies. Now, if you didn't get that, go back and look at it. Simply put, I'll go through it again. Find two numbers that multiplies to give the end number and adds to give the middle. What were they? They were 2 and 3. Simply sub them into the factors here. X plus 3 times x plus 2. Now, to find the values of x that make this equal to 0 and this equal to 0, you had to set each factor equal to 0, like we did. Then solve for x, like we did here. You get this creature right here, x equals minus 3, x equals minus 2. Easy peasy lemon squeezy? I hope so. Now, we're running through it quick. If you need to pause and go back, or you want to look at the example again, by all means do so. Okay, on your marker set, let's do the next one. Now, same way. Two numbers, we need two numbers that multiply to give 6, add to give 7. Well, we know that it must be 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. Most of you should be screaming at the screens, there's 1 and 6. Why? Because when you add them, they give 7. X plus 1 goes here then, and x plus 6 goes here. Doesn't matter if you put a 6 here and a 1 here. Oka boka. Don't matter, man. Long as you get it done. How do you find the values of x that make it equal to 0? You set each factor equal to 0. Then you solverino. Minus 1, you're getting x by itself. Down here, you minus 6. So you minus 6. 6's cancel. X is minus 6. 1's cancel. X is minus 1. And that's it. You found the values of x that make the quadratic function equal 0 by factoring it and setting each factor equal to 0. It's no harder than this. Okay? Now, when they do get harder than this and you can't factor it, sometimes it'll happen. Guess what you use? QRF. But we'll come back to that, not today, but we'll do that tomorrow. Okay? Now, let's move on. I know I'm going fast, but there's a reason. Because I need to get this done in 8 minutes. Right? Okay, no worries. If you need to watch this video again, by all means, watch it again. Okay, let's look at this creature. Now, I kind of want to cover up what I got done down here. Oh! Let's uncover. Never mind. We'll look at that in a second. Now, let's do this one here. Two numbers that multiply to give plus 6, but add to give minus 5. Sneaky. Guess what? They can be negative numbers. So let's try negative numbers. Well, the factors of 6 are negative 1, negative 6 times negative 6. Let's try negative 2 times negative 3. So, negative 1 times negative 6 gives a plus. 2 minuses make a plus. But what about when you add them? Minus 1 plus minus 6, is it minus 5? No, it's minus 7. That don't work. Guess what? It's minus 2 minus 3. Why? Minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6. Minus 2 plus minus 3 gives minus 5. So those are the ones. Can they be negative? Yes, they can. Sometimes they like to trick you. Sometimes both will be negative. Sometimes both will be positive. Sometimes one is positive, one is negative. Okay? You had to be little detectives and figure out what two numbers can multiply to give this one and add to give that one. Okay? Simple. Put your numbers in here. What do? Same as you did before. Set each factor equal to 0. Just like this. And you solve for x. How do you do it? Get x by itself. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So you plus that out down bottom. Plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Plus 2 up top. Plus 2. Plus 2 up top. When you cancel these creatures out, you got x is 2. And here you got x is 3. Boys and girlies, no harder than that. Now, I got 5 minutes, so we're going to have to go pretty quick here now, okay? So, look at this video again if you need to, but I think things should be pretty clear. So we're solving for the values of x to make a quadratic function equal 0. Now, down the bottom, this is a bit of a different creature, okay? You got 2x plus 8 times 3x minus 6. Well, the first thing you should see is that it's been factored for you. So the hard part is already done. How do you find the values of x that make this one equal to 0 and this one equal to 0? You simply set each factor equal to 0, just like we did up top. In this case, you'll have 2x plus 8 equals 0. You solve that out by doing what? Well, you're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So this goes away, so you're left with 2x equals minus 8. Now, you got a 2 in front of the x. How do you get rid of it? Over 2, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So it's minus 8 over 2. You got x is minus 4. Done the same way. Likewise, set your second factor, 3x minus 6 equal to 0. So you plus the 6 here, which means you have 2 plus a 6 here. 3x equals 6. These here go away. Divide each side by 3. Why? Because there's a 3 in front of the x. 3 over 3 goes away. It's just 1x or x. Likewise up top, 6 over 3 is 2. Is this any harder? Oh god, oh god. Why? It's just an extra step, boys and girlies, not meant to be any kind of a creature. Now, hopefully that was clear. We're going to go. Now the next page has the questions I want you to do. Should be no questions. Are there any questions? JK, I can't answer you, I'm sorry. I wish I was there to help you boys and girls, but hopefully I'll be back soon. I hope. Maybe this time tomorrow, maybe right now while this class is going on. Maybe the baby is born already. I don't know. But anyhow, hopefully this helped. Let's go to the next page. These are the questions I want you to do, okay? Kind of messy, I know. Yeah, it was absurd, just like when you're in class. I know. You'll see the questions. Solve each equation by factoring. Some of these have been factored for you, like the top 4. The first 4 have been done. Do them the same way as the question that was on the last page. If you need a refresher, watch the video again. I don't care. Watch it 10 times. No, don't watch it that many. But watch it again to see how we do these creatures. Should be kind of clear. If you didn't get it all wrote down, you could go back and pause anytime. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to come up. Somebody, whoever's there, teacher will let you know who can. Pause me, pause the video, and do these questions. Copy them down in your notebooks. Work on them together. If you have any questions, ask your teacher and see if they can help. If not, go on Google. Google can help you. There's lots of examples there. So work on this for the remainder of the period, please. If you're done prior to the period ending, what I want you to do is finish up stuff maybe from last week or sheets that you have. If you got those done, you can just help other people. So this is pretty much it for today. So again, solving quadratics by factoring, all you need to do is factor them, set each factor to 0, like this one and this one, solve for the variable in question, xk, jk, elemental p, can be anything. Have fun, boys and girlies. Hopefully, right now the baby is born, but as of 3:23, no baby yet. So anyhow, I will talk to you guys and girls soon. Take her easy. Mr. Moore signing off.